is that very seldom can you look at, say, a time spread and know, based on the option chain and the option chain alone, where the spread will be trading at if the stock moves a strike or two and a certain amount of time has elapsed. But with the broken wing butterfly, all you have to do is have an option chain, and you know where your exit points are. And guess what? Here is the really powerful thing. Your exit point is where you get out before a loss even occurs. If you get out when the options look the equivalent of the 335 strike, you get out at 20 cents. Remember, you put it on for 40 cents. So now you're getting out. You watch the market move, say, 9, 10%. You know, if the market moves another couple of hundred points down, the spread is going to go against you. So you get out at a 20-cent winner. But as long as it stays in that range, you're going to keep it on, because guess what? Every day that goes by, the spread is going to get a little bit better in your favor. Remember, these things work like time spreads, where you want it to close at the center strike, and from there it only gets better as time approaches expiration. So every day that goes by, this trade gets a little bit better. This option chain we're looking at right now, guys, this option chain that we're looking at right now is right when we put the trade on, which is typically the worst possible time for this trade. The beautiful thing about these trades is that when we're looking at this option chain, we're looking at the worst possible time. We know the worst case scenario is right now, and every day it gets a little bit better. So we can base our stop losses based on the worst possible scenario, and anything else is gravy. And we know exactly where we're going to start losing money and how much we're going to lose, and we just get out before we start losing money. As a floor trader on the exchange floor for over a decade, I don't know of any other strategy out there without getting really complicated in the convoluted spreads and things like that we teach. But I can't think of anything else that's sort of like a beginner to intermediate trade that also satisfies advanced traders' desire to make money with as little risk as possible, as well as this trade, which is why I'm showing it to you. This is probably the trade that I did 50% of my volume on. This was my bread and butter trade for many, many years. And I would put certain twists on it and do it sort of like on expiration week and go into 1-3-2 trades, and which is a derivative of this. But so if you take the 1-3-2 trade and the derivatives of that, I probably did half of my volume on expiration week of this trade. And for these same reasons, you can control your risk and your reward. Your reward is way above your potential risk, and you know where to get out ahead of time. I can't think of a better trade that satisfies everybody from the beginner to the advanced as well as this. And a lot of you people have had the honor and privilege of working with Robert and seeing his track record, and that's why he's touting the broken wing butterfly so much. You know, and a lot of you guys are going to be taking his, his classes because you want to learn more about this trade, and you should. This is the greatest trade in the world. Whatever money you invest in taking Robert's class should pay dividends, because the more you know about this trade, the better off you are. But what I showed you right now is the functionality of this trade. It's the nuts and bolts. It's the blueprint, if you will. It's the diagram of the engine of how this trade works. We have not had enough time, and that's why I wrote an entire book about this strategy, to go into the minutia. What month do you put it on? When do you take it off? I showed you how to take it off. But what strikes do you put it on at? We see a whole litany of different broken wing butterflies in this chain that you're looking at. Which one's the best one to do? How do you know which one's the best one to do? When to get into them? And what month do you do? There's several different months of expiration in the OEX alone to choose. What products do you do it in? Google's trading very high like this index. Maybe I'll do it in Google. And we have done these in Google. But what products you trade it in, when to get in, when to get out, what strike prices. That's the Cyclops' eye, if you will. That is the important part. That is the practical part of how these work. I showed you the theoretical. I don't have enough time to show you guys the practical part, the criteria, if you will, of how these trades work. And as a matter of fact, in our books, all of our strategies have step-by-step criteria. Okay? To our knowledge, I've never seen another company have criteria like we do. I mean, there's a couple people out there that claim they have criteria. They'll give you like little garden variety things. Don't sell an option under a nickel. You might as well keep it on, and little things like that. But no one's figured out a way to not only trade these successfully, but also convey the way that other people should trade them in a way that we can implement to anybody that can read or write how to trade these in the way that a market maker would. Okay, most other companies just simply explain to you the strategy and then move on and say good luck. Now, I know a lot of people are very interested in this strategy. If you're not, you just haven't been paying attention, and you have not been looking at Robert Chastain's trading record, plain and simple. Or there's an option C, but I don't want to sound negative, but it just, you don't get excited about anything. Because in trading, if you're a trader and you're willing to invest the time and the capital and the energy to become the best trader you can be, and you see something like this, you know you've discovered something great. Now, anyone who wants a copy of today's slides can have them. All you got to do is go to our website, and over here where it says mailing list, simply click on that. Okay, we'll also send you a whole bunch of articles that we've written on the subject that have been published in Futures Magazine, etc. And we'll be happy to give those to you absolutely free. Okay, what you'll have to do is fill out a very little bit amount of information. We don't ever sell our database to anybody, so you don't have to worry about like someone trying to pitch you on Ginsu knives a week later. Okay, we honor everybody's privacy the same way we want all our instructors want their privacy respected. So just fill out the information so we know how to get the slides to you, and we'll email them. When it says company name in the information form, simply put in POS, and that's all capitals.